Okay, I think we're up. And already YouTube looks like it's a lot better than it did for me last time, so that's good. Hi, Capricious Streamer. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I should add my little guy. No, I just added him now. I was like, oh, I'll just why not? I thought the screen was looking a little barren. At some point, maybe I'll replace him with myself, or maybe I'll do like the weird, well, not the weird, but I'll do like the VTuber thing, where I'll like have my avatar like talk and react to me, however that works. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it'd lighten up things a little. I may have to move him around on other games depending on the interface and whatnot, but I think he's pretty okay there for for old Maxi PAYNE. Thank you, be kind. I also like that on Twitch at least he looks duplicated, so he's just like directly on top of himself. Unless you're in full screen, of course. I'm very excited. If I do get Max Payne finished today, and I do the usual, I'm gonna play Crash Bandicoot 2, Platinum Relics. But if I do that, I'm very excited for you guys to see the thumbnail that I made for that bonus Crash stream. I was very happy with it when I finished it. Um, but yeah, anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to another stream, another Max Payne stream. Uh, we are still rotating around Max. He's been spinning for the last week. He's got like crazy motion sickness at this point. He's gonna like vomit like all three meals that he had that day as soon as I hit resume. Also, there's a guy running towards me like at full speed from around the corner. Every time the camera pans around to him, it is terrifying. No, thank you. I appreciate the compliment on my stream art. Although the artist who made that avatar, I should say specifically, is Van Roo, who we've seen in the chat sometimes. So credit for the art goes to her, though the edits for the thumbnails is myself. Exactly. To itchimus to scratchimus. Okay, let's launch back into this. Oh god. Yep. This is going to be a long one too. I remember this level taking ages. Not even because it's necessarily difficult. Is that where the guy? Oh yeah, it is. Not even because it's necessarily difficult, but just because there's so many areas to it. There's like, um, yeah, parking level 6. There's 6 like levels to this car park, and we gotta get all the way down to the bottom, which doesn't sound too bad. But each level has like 4 or 5 different combat sections in it. And then the final one has a crazy boss as well, which I remember being pretty difficult. He has this like fully automatic shotgun, I think, which is not fun to go up against. Oh, hello. Hello, sir. You're quite delayed. Someone is late. I also think it's wild how this one corrupts. I think he's like someone with a police at least. But he just has this whole army at his disposal. Which is kind of impressive. I'm not even mad, really. Oh no. Wow, this guy is just taking all of these shotgun blasts to the chin. Oh no, okay, no, the two of them are together this time. don't know how they got separated on the last little things. Oh, he's dead. Both have such a Soviet vibe. Yeah, they do have that kind of Russian spy sort of vibe to them for sure. Also, apologies for I know my voice is particularly nasally on a good day, but my nose is very blocked today. So if I sound extra dorky, then you know why. There's a reason my avatar has a giant nose. It's honestly an under-exaggeration of how I look in real life. Nice roll, my dude. Oh, you know what I'm... Oh, no! Right, okay, I gotta get back into the saving habit. I actually didn't know you could hold the trigger for the dual pistols, and it just... was the Danny DeVito, so I started blasting. Yep. Okay, we're back with the save icons. Danny DeVito isn't dorky, is he? I mean, maybe. Okay, let's... Yeah. Save. He's gonna roll in again, I assume. Maybe he gets triggered when I pass this line. Or this side over here. No. He just decided not to come to work today. Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, how I reference him. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's valid. Yep. Whoa, that was quick. I'm not even mad, that was just impressive. Good job, Blue. Alright, I'm gonna probably have to be more tactical about this. What's up, boys? Oh, wow. Just goes to show how useless health is in this game that I took pills and instantly died like just as quickly as I think I would have otherwise. Get excited for the recurring car skidding sound. Okay, that was very close. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's sorry. The jumpsuit is a Fallout reference. The jacket is Leon's jacket from Resident Evil 4. As well as the handgun is the default handgun that you have at the start of the game from Resident Evil. And the lamp, of course, is the Alan Wake 2 lamp that Alan uses. Which I also have. I have like a replica of it that I got from the collector's edition. It's like one of my favorite things that I own. Okay, he's got it. Alright, very good. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep track of what levels I'm on here so I can get a sense of progression. So it's level 5. We're down 1. That's good. Exit, can I just leave? No? Okay. I like the idea that this particular drug has overtaken the world of Max Payne so much to the point that people just graffiti the name of the drug everywhere. It'd be like if someone went around just writing meth in very like pretty and artful ways on walls. You'd be like, yeah, that's a drug. I guess you like it. Oh. Honestly, I appreciate that. I think there's somebody behind me as well. Yes, there is, isn't there? Yeah, there is. Oh god. Oh, I don't have any bullets. Should I change? Oh, I didn't realize I had this equipped. I thought I was equipping the shotgun. I'll take that. I will say the good thing about this level is that it's not very demanding on like me paying attention to stuff, because it's pretty much just combat. I mean, I do need to pay attention to combat, especially since we know very well at this point that I suck, but I don't need to pay attention to like progression stuff. I know that I just need to kill people and move forward. Hey, another skidding sound effect. There you go. But it means that I can ramble about stuff, which is my favorite thing to do on these streams. I think last time I gave a lengthy ramble on my Stranger Things thoughts, and there's not much I have to add to that, but there are some new things that have happened. Like, there was a very big conspiracy theory that I didn't mention last stream, and again, this isn't a spoiler. If you haven't seen the show, don't worry. But there was a conspiracy theory that the finale of the show wasn't actually the finale, and that they were going to release like a secret bonus. This is the real finale thing on the 7th of January. We're in the future now, so of course we know that didn't happen. But it was the most insane level of like hope I think I've ever seen from a fan base. And like, I feel bad for the people who genuinely believed it, because obviously they're just people who really like the show and were kind of let down. And from a story perspective, I could kind of see what they were getting at, because a lot of the story does involve like warping people's reality and that kind of thing. If you know like the story well enough, you know that's what like happens in it, I guess. But it would have been it would have been absolutely terrible if you think about it. Like, even if they did put out another episode on the 7th of January and it was actually like incredible, it would have been so bad in retrospect to think about the actual finale as just this one big waste of time that didn't matter at all, unlike all of the conflict and payoffs and resolutions and like just everything that they spent the 2.5 hours doing. Was just like entirely for nothing. Would have been really bad. So I'm actually quite glad. I think that would have been worse, even if the finale was like, this bonus finale was a perfect 10 out of 10 episode. I think in the grand scheme of things that would have been a worse move than to just end it with what we had now. But in addition to that, in addition to there not being an extra episode, there was, however, a sort of making of behind the scenes documentary that they put out like a couple of days ago, and I've never seen creators of a show like just willingly put out such a self call out as in my life. The whole, like, people are just finding so many quotes and moments from it that just highlight um how little they didn't put enough consideration into the finale at all. Just stuff like well, this works. Okay. There's a moment where you can see one of the writers' computers open, and they have two desktop like tabs open for ChatGPT while they were talking about writing the finale. There's also a lot of mention in it that people are bringing up that they didn't have a finale planned when they went into production for the final season, which is such a bad idea. And I don't know why you would admit this. It's actually insane. I don't know if they made this documentary before. Well, I assume they did make this documentary before and were planned on releasing it after the series ended, and we're just banking on people loving it and being really impressed. Like, whoa, they didn't even plan for this when they went into production? That's so impressive and cool and shows how good of a writer that they are. But all it kind of did was just make people go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, okay. There's also a lot of moments from other actors in the behind the scenes where they seem pretty checked out and just kind of over it and not that interested, which, like, you can already get that impression, I think, from some of their performances in the last season, but seeing it behind the scenes just makes it feel kind of sadder. There's also moments of actors calling out the writers in the behind the scenes footage for not knowing lore and just character stuff that they set up themselves, which is, again, like, how could you put this out there? This makes you look so bad. I just keep getting killed by the same guy also, by the way. Yeah. Oh well, I didn't know that about the secret screening, that people thought it was part of the Stranger Things secret finale conspiracy. That's really funny. Yeah, Game of Thrones had a similar thing, and I think I referenced that last time. There's like that one quote from one of the main two guys that created it, who was like, "Oh, I guess the main character just forgot about this whole army, that they existed." It's like, don't telling yourself like that. Wow, I'm gonna get past these guys. I swear to God. Yep, alright. Do I have any ammo in this? Yeah, I do. I'm jumping in there. Ah, wow. My TV show rambling is gonna have to pause for a second here. I'm gonna need to lock in. If these guys are just... I'm up against SEAL Team 6 here all of a sudden. There we go. Okay, I feel like I might have missed some ammo, so I'm gonna do a quick look around first before I move on. Maybe we're good. Okay, some red ammo. That doesn't hurt. I feel like this is also the worst one to do the slow-mo thing for. The kind of, like, semi-automatic or, like, single-fire weapons are more ideal than fully automatic. But I'm still gonna do it anyways. Oh, that's a new emoji. Oh, it's locked. Oh, because I'm locked in. Alright, gotcha. Took me a second there, but I figured it out. Very cool. vaguely, I think there's just a lock on this that I need to break, but I kind of remember being stuck on this for a while when I first played it. But you know what, that's probably because I was playing the PS2 version again and I just couldn't see the texture for the lock. Yeah, there we go. It's a combination of me decoding the emoji and just remembering stuff that I said 5 seconds ago because my brain just does like a wipe of everything that I say on these streams. Oh hell yeah, that was okay. I was gonna compliment myself. Oh, never mind. I can still compliment myself. It was good. Now who left all their cult commando ammo in this empty bin? Or part or whatever this is. It looks like there's solid concrete on the bottom of it, I'm not quite sure. Whoa, okay, that was dramatic. I wasn't expecting Max to do a full cartwheel. What happened there? It was around this corner, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So what? Was it this truck? Did this truck explode? I'm only brown dying instead of red dying. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, because when it was darker, it used to be more like blood red. But yeah, the kind of more brown, brownish look to it is more... Okay, no, this is... Okay, no, somebody is throwing something at me. That was not the truck. I saw the mark on the ground. That was an explosive. I'm gonna see if I can trigger them to throw it. Throw it. Yep, there he goes. Ah. Wait, painkiller's full. Someone has painkillers then? It was a beautiful wipeout. Can't even complain. Back onto stuff that I saw. I feel like I've seen a lot of stuff in the last week since this, since I last streamed. But just, I'll work backwards with what I more recently remember watching. So I watched a movie called The Ugly Stepsister today, which is like a sort of dark, body horror Norwegian retelling of the story of Snow White from the perspective of one of the sisters, which I will get into more after this radio cutscene.
Reports of a fire at the Punchinello Manor in Westchester. The manor is the home of Angelo Punchinello, the alleged head of the Punchinello crime family. The police are now saying, contrary to their earlier statements, that Max Payne is still alive and at large.
Oh yeah, he is.
Continues his vendetta against the mafia, of which this last act of arson is attributed to.
I had no recollection of setting any fires, but I did remember the flames.
God, he's so cool. But yeah, the movie was great. And the fact that it was apparently the directorial debut of the director who made it is very impressive. I would say it was the most uncomfortable a body horror film has made me. And I think the reason for that is because of how grounded a lot of the body horror aspects of it are. Something like the substance, like while it did make me uncomfortable, it's so over the top and like surreal, and there's like a borderline supernatural element to it that like I can kind of disassociate my brain from how like gory and disturbing what's happening on screen is. But with The Ugly Stepsister, a lot of the body horror aspects of this are like rooted in old sort of aesthetic improvement, like medicinal practices from like hundreds of years ago. that are just really like horrible and archaic. Um, but yeah, and I don't know. I was wondering at multiple points through this, is this like a closer adaptation to like the original version of the story? Because I feel like that's often the case with these like fairy tale stories, is you learn that, oh, the original version of this is actually horrifying. Um, so it's the sister take on Cinderella, not Snow White. She didn't have. Did I say Snow White at some point? If I did say Snow White, I meant Cinderella. Yes. Um, but yeah. I like how also no one is really sympathetic in this movie. Well, no, that's not true. The main character, the sister, is definitely sympathetic, and there are aspects of particularly Cinderella's character as well that's sympathetic. But it's like I'm kind of morally conflicted about everyone. Everyone has their moments of being shitty or vindictive or like whatever. But yeah, I think it made for a very honest movie in terms of depicting just old traditional type values in this really brutal and like body dysmorphic kind of way. If you're someone who has like self-image problems, I think that this would make for a tough watch. And also, if you're someone who's squeamish, particularly if you're someone who's squeamish about needles, this would be a very hard watch. Again, I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'm not going to say why, but oh, hello, sir. But yeah, this was a tough watch. Very well acted, though, I will say, and it's at times a very pretty movie. Some interesting editing choices that I was like unsure of, but like they're at moments where I'm like, okay, it's jarring, but like what's happening is quite strange, so I guess it's jarring on purpose. I don't know, maybe a rewatch would make me feel differently about them, like particular editing choices. Like there's some like odd zooms into characters' faces at times that I'm just like, that felt weird, and unnecessary. But yeah, I would recommend this one. It was I'd recommend this if you're into body horror. If you're into you know, I'm tempted to call this a women's rage movie. But it's like a women's rage film from the perspective of someone who is just like very like in the complete reverse way that you would expect. Like, they're not like, oh, fuck Prince Charming or whatever. They're like, I want to fuck Prince Charming. Women's rage. Is the best way I think I could describe it. But yeah, the main actress, I gotta find out what her name is, because she does a really great performance in this. She's got a lot on her shoulders. Like there's very little time in the film where she's not on screen as well. Like she's really holding this movie up, and having to pull off a lot of heavy emotional stuff, and a lot of heavy physical stuff. Song Feminine Rage, I will add that to my internal list of songs to check out. If I haven't already, I might have actually heard it already. How does it compare to something like The Substance? I think I like The Substance more overall as a film. It's more unique, and it's more... I think it's more telling and relevant to today, and like the state of the world, and beauty standards in Hollywood. Like it speaks to things that I'm personally like notice, or I'm kind of bothered by when I like see films, or see the way like the industry has been moving for the last while. Also visually, it is just such a stunning movie. Like the use of color in that, it's a gorgeous film. Whereas this movie is definitely very pretty at times, and oh my god, the costuming in The Ugly Stepsister is phenomenal. It's so good. But I think this just the fact that it's a remake of a fairy tale story in a sense, and the fact that it mostly just centers around, well, Substance does center around one character, but I feel like there's more to do with the overall universe that it's trying to like that it's trying to tell us in comparison to this, where the overall universe and world building in The Ugly Stepsister is kind of just to take the fairy tale pretty much at face value. For the most part, there is definitely subtext in here about how like women were treated and how women needed to just like get in with a very rich, wealthy, and prosperous man, otherwise they were like fucked socially. Is definitely a very prominent theme in this movie and relevant to the story. And also, like, if you're someone who just loves fairy tale retellings, then yeah, this is definitely going to be your bag. I think I did appreciate how Cinderella was written in this. Well, for one, their names, it's weird, because at a certain point, they do call her Cinderella, and I can't remember if the original story was like this or not, but the characters' names are, or her name specifically, I think was Agnes, and then at a point in the film, they start calling her Cinderella. And I think the point when they start calling her Cinderella, from what I remember, is more in line with like when the actual story of Cinderella starts. Yeah, I don't know the story or the original or whatever well enough to know if her name was always Agnes or whatever. I think it was Agnes, I'm pretty sure. I'm terrible with remembering names. But yeah, that was The Ugly Stepsister. What did I see? Yeah, last... Ooh, let's see. Oh, wait, already? Oh, wow, I breezed through this. Oh, yeah, I'm on level 1. Wow, I got here a lot faster than I thought I would. Sorry. So... other movie I saw yesterday was called Four Mothers. And it was an Irish-made movie. Which made me very proud because it's a great movie. And it's like the second Irish-made movie I've seen this year that was very good. I think I like this one more though. Possibly. At least I like the story and character and like dialogue aspect of it more. I think the filmmaking aspect. So the other one I'm thinking of is Saipan, by the way. And I think Saipan has like a bit of a higher bar when it comes to like quality in the cinematography and its presentation. And stuff like its editing and sound design, that kind of stuff. But oh, this is just a terrible idea. But Four Mothers, I think I connected to more as like a story. So basically, for those who don't know, the story is about an Irish author who has extreme anxiety. And it is thrust upon him that he has to take care of not only his own mother, who's debilitated from a recent stroke, but also the mothers of 3 of his friends, who all want to go off on this trip to, I forget the name of the place. It's kind of like, it's like Ibiza, I guess, but like for gay people. I don't know. It's like this resort with a bunch of hot dudes at it, where gay people can go and be themselves and that kind of thing, and they're like, oh, we have to go there, and it's weird how there's sort of an implied arc and dynamic of the friend characters that go on that trip, that they're gonna go through something, but then we kind of find out towards the end that they don't really resolve their problem, and it feels like they have their own separate movie off screen that we don't see, that I'm kind of interested in seeing now as well, to be honest. But the dynamic between the grandmothers and the main character, I forget who he's played by or what his name is, but is fantastic. It's really fun. It's a very funny movie, and I think what I appreciate most about it is it's so easy for Irish-made films to go like too far with Irish slang and dialect and like cultural references to the point where it feels kind of corny or like takes me out of it or doesn't feel authentic. But at several points um, during the movie, I was like, yeah, I know people who are exactly like this, or I have met this person um, during like specific moments of dialogue and whatnot. That made me appreciate it a lot. Oh, damn. Also very heartwarming, which I feel like is a theme. I've watched a lot of heartwarming movies recently, from Eleanor the Great, which is another one that I'll get to Rental Family, which I'll also get to. um, but yeah, it's been a nice, refreshing week of movies, being very uplifting and wholesome, and like, hey, people are good sometimes. Let's all get together and braid each other's hair and tell each other secrets and stuff. And have sleepovers. There's just too many people here. Okay, this is definitely a grenade launcher job. Or you know what? Actually, I just picked up this jackhammer thing. Why am I not using it? Oh, because you know why I'm not using it? I know why I'm not using it. Yes, we do need to remind us that humanity isn't completely Trump filled. You do need to prioritize forum others. It's I think you'd really enjoy it. I think you'd connect with it quite a bit. Oh, oh my god, this is just absurd. Okay, maybe a grenade. Maybe a grenade job. Alright, if you can even give me a chance to throw it, that'd be good. Okay, I think I got someone. I heard somebody. Okay, that's a save if ever I've seen one. Oh, did I get both of them? That's an explosive bag. Oh. I think that's the... That could be the boss, I'm not sure. Okay, he's taking a lot of damage. I think that is him. Yeah, it's definitely him. Okay. Oh, sorry about that block. Let me allow that.
I blame you. For a smart guy, you really can be stupid at times.
This is the clearest I think I've ever heard the in-game dialogue also, up to this point. Also, where did this guy go? There's like nowhere to go from here. The dead end. Oh. Is that you? Oh, I think that is him. Uh-oh. I can see what I'm looking at. Oh, nice. Whoa, that was close. I was one shot away from death.
The payphone started to ring.
Payphone started to ring? Good thing I heard that. I'm looking for a payphone, I guess. I'm at a payphone. Trying to go home. My wife and child are dead. There we go.
Yeah.
Max Payne,
Whatever does it for you.
this is Alfred Woodden. I can give you the name of your enemy. Come to the Asgard building presently. We are expecting you.
That was the fastest I think I've ever played through that.
Mr. Payne, let's go inside. The others are anxious to begin.
I think this is the end of the game. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the last mission.
The general misconception this building actually predates
Or is it?
the City Hall by 2 years, thus being the oldest municipal building still in use here at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, actually, no, I don't think it is.
The old man played tour guide as he led me through a dark domed hall. The answers I was after loomed large ahead.
Mr. Payne, I would like to introduce you to my colleagues in what we call the Inner Circle.
You've been watching too much X-Files.
You very much like to blow this thing wide open, but our hands are tied. Her name is Nicole Horn. She was the key figure in Project Valhalla. When the funding was discontinued, she simply refused to quit. She knew exactly what she had in her hands. Nicole Horn is the president of Acer Corporation. She has more than half the city in her pocket. This must be kept
Big pocket.
under wraps. If you try to go public with this, we will deny any knowledge. We need you to take her out.
Dinner?
Afterwards, we can protect you. Make all the charges go away.
That was the cue for the killer suits to kick in the doors and swarm inside.
Yeah, okay, so there's like 2 missions left. I know I've said this before, but I'm fairly certain at this point that this is the penultimate mission of the game. And I kind of remember the ending of it being pretty difficult. What? Okay, where am I going? Alright, we got lasers. How am I gonna... Can I hit it from here? Yes, I can. Let's hit it with something a little less resource needy. How am I... There we go. Okay. I looked away for a second. Okay, so I think the last one I was talking about was For All Mothers, but yes, very much recommend. Good movie. Well acted, great cast, very heartwarming, very wholesome. Also very kind of sad at times. And oh my god, they do panic attacks extremely well. I could very much feel there's like a moment where the main character is just like trying to organize an appointment or something with a manager, and he just like fucking breaks down like in the middle of it. This happens early in the movie, so it's not a massive spoiler or anything, and I'm not giving specific details of the nature of what it was, but I was just like, yep, appointments are the worst, or trying to make appointments are the worst, at least. Where did you come from, sir? We do love a well-acted panic attack. And this might actually be my, in terms of panic attack rankings, this might be pretty high up. This might be my favorite, at least, of the movies I've seen in the last year. Okay, nope, not again. There we go. Okay, so he's up there. Oh, and now he's not up there, now he's in my face. So the next movie I saw, next movie was Rental Family with Brendan Fraser, and that was awesome. Another very heartwarming movie, and honestly, I'd say at least top 10, if not top 5, of technically 2025 films. I think it got an American release in 2025, but only just released, or hasn't even released here yet, I don't think, for another few days officially. I saw it at a mystery screening in advance of its release date here. But wow, what an absolute like powerhouse of just like good feels. I love Brendan Fraser in anything. Like he made me cry at least 5 times, I think, when I saw The Whale, both on the first and the second watch, and he brings it here in this one as well. He's just such an empathizable person. Like, he is perfectly cast in any kind of good guy role. A good guy role that's also funny. Like, there's some humor to it. And there's a lot of great humor in Rental Family. Like, the audience that I was with had a fair few like laugh out loud moments from the crowd, which I really appreciated. It was a great crowd. But yeah, gorgeous movie. Really fun idea for a story. I don't know how, like, I was actually, because there's so many bizarre kind of jobs and occupations around, like, mental health adjacent things in Japan, because, like, the concept of mental health is kind of stigmatized still over there. It's not as commonly spoken about as it would be in the Western world. But I actually wondered at multiple points in the movie if this was an actual thing that exists there, where, so the concept is, Rental Family is like an agency where you can hire someone to pretend to be a relative or a friend or just any kind of acquaintance or what have you, to pretend to be them for whatever period of time that you request, I suppose. Because people don't have like therapy, and they're like, this is basically a substitute because we don't have that. But a really fun idea for a story, and obviously I think a lot of the conflict in it immediately came from just like creating situations where the person pretending to be a certain like acquaintance or family member or whatever is doing so under a guise of like someone or some set of people cannot know. And it's interesting ethically because there are moments where that works out as a net positive, particularly early on in the movie. Like, it's a good thing that people didn't find out the truth. So it's gonna trigger cutscene. I will shut up for a moment.
The so-called corpse of Alfred Woden stood up, miraculously waking from his dirt nap, looking smug among his dead pals. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. I didn't know how he pulled it off, but it was a pretty slick way to get out of all his promises. Most of what he had said fit too well to be a load of crap.
Agreed. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the conflict could have been avoided for the most part if there were like just some kind of a rule or a safeguard in the company where like they couldn't take on a role if it was to like trick or deceive someone. But obviously, as I say, that like sometimes that works out well. Like it works out as a good thing that they did it that way. So it's hard to say. Like it's very, and then you can't really be circumstantial about it either. If they're like a company, they have to be like hard and fast with whatever rules that they have. So it's just an interesting moral and ethical like problem that it raises, in my opinion. Also on yeah, so for the whale, there's characters that would be like shaming him. For that, but I would say the movie itself, like the director and the writers behind it, I wouldn't say they're in any way fatphobic. If anything, I think that they present it in a very empathizable and like humanized way. Like it's hard not to look at Brendan Fraser's character and not be like, oh man, like I just, like your heart just breaks for him, so much so in that movie. And at no point, like, even though he is an obese person, like, yeah, even though he's an obese person in the movie, at no point does it ever frame it around like, oh, if he just wasn't, then his problems would be solved. It very much goes deeper than that. He has so many other like mental and psychological and coping issues laden behind that, and like so many interpersonal dynamics that complicate the circumstances in his life, that like it doesn't just like feel like, oh, let's just make a movie about a guy who's fat and then like the problems that comes with that. It's like, no, there's much more to it. much more to it than that. Although that said, of course, as I said, there are characters in it that will shame him for the way that he looks. But unfortunately, that is a thing that occurs in real life, and in the moments where it happens in the movie, they are kind of framed as being standoffish and like assholes. Like, I don't think you're supposed to, especially considering how like empathizable I said and relatable and nice they make Brendan Fraser's character out to be. In those moments, you really do feel like, well, yeah, they're just really nasty and not good people for saying this stuff to him. Where did that guy come from? There's somebody popped out here, right? Oh, there he is. We'll dive again. Oh, rent-a-families are an actual thing. Okay, interesting. I thought they might be. And is it only a thing in Japan, or is it like other countries do it as well? Because it definitely does seem like a very Japan type thing to do. Oh, wow, that was quick. I'm so curious about this and what like kind of safeguards are put in place, because there were a lot of times as well where I felt like, oh, this has got to be like to some degree a very dangerous job. Like, you don't really know what kind of people's lives you're just inserting yourself into, like, or what their intentions could be. It kind of reminds me a bit of I recently rewatched Patch Adams. And I'm reluctant to talk about this because I don't want to spoil Patch Adams if anyone hasn't seen it. Because it's a great movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should absolutely go see it. Again, like, speaking of heartwarming movies, Patch Adams is incredibly heartwarming. But yeah, without getting into specifics, there's a moment where a character who's trying to do a good service and trying to help someone ends up putting themselves in a very dangerous set of circumstances. Oh, where did that come from? And I kind of couldn't help but think about that a lot of the time when I was watching Rental Family. Like, this kind of thing has got to happen pretty frequently, surely. Because there are, unfortunately, ill-intentioned people in this world that are going to take advantage of these kinds of things. But then again, I also think that about just stuff like Uber. I'm like, how can you just put yourself out there like, yeah, I'll just drive around and pick up whoever is if they call. Or also, I'll just ring up a random person and ask them to like come and drive me to a place and hope that they actually take me to where I want to go. I think I'm just in general a very like skeptical person. So I'm probably not like the right like mindset, I guess, to be even thinking of or questioning these things. Or maybe I am, I don't know. Only a Japanese thing. Called soft service, interesting. Soft service sounds like another word for an ice cream man. That'd be a great title. Oh yes, I provide a soft service. That was a grenade. I heard that. Right. So yeah, rental. I think I've moved away from the plot of it so much. That just sounds sounds pornographic. Yeah, it's got like a softcore kind of vibe. Anyways, let's keep this stream nice and PG-18. If you're 18 or over, you must be accompanied by an adult who is also 18 or over. I don't know why it's like every adult is 18 or over. What am I talking about? That's the definition. But yeah, Rental Family, great movie. Would recommend it. I would recommend Rental Family. Oh, the way I said it specifically, did I just have a very sexual tone to my voice? That's unintentional. That's just me naturally, you know. I can't help it. But yeah, Rental Family I would recommend to absolutely everyone. I don't think there's a single human being on this planet that I would be like, oh, you shouldn't see this. Like, no, it's just a really heartwarming, great movie. And that's, I think, would connect with just about any person on the planet. Like, I really can't see a demographic that way it wouldn't apply to. The creator of Final Fantasy IX quit Square Enix recently, and it reminded me of how people in Japan can hire someone to quit on their behalf because they're supposed to be extremely apologetic, and it sucks. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, absolutely true. It's just, it's so, there's such a culture shock around how like stigmatized like certain things are in Japanese culture compared to here, really. And I think I feel kind of like conflicted when people are like, oh, Japan sounds so cool and nice, and it's like it's a great place to visit and blah blah blah, and they're like, everyone is so nice to me when I go there, and it's like, yeah, they're really nice to you as a tourist, and they're like acting as perfect as they can because they're providing a service, because that's like beat into them culturally that they can't like show certain emotions or like show imperfection in any kind of capacity. So like, yeah, you're having a great time, but it's like at the expense of a lot of their mental health.
And what is your answer to those saying that he's actually providing a service long overdue to the city?
This crusade nonsense has gone too far. He's out of control. It must stop. He will be stopped.
That was Deputy Chief Jim Rivera from the New York City Police Department.
Man is having a full-on crash out. Which are we talking about for two people? I already forget what we were on, because it wasn't Rental Family. I know, because you've already seen that. Where did that guy go? Wait, did he just run into? Oh no, he didn't. That would be cool if he just ran into the laser rooms, like I just did. It did do a great job of explaining stigma behind certain things in their culture, without being without preaching, or without like kind of degrading or being like, ah, look at how weird these people are, kind of thing, which I feel like a lot of stuff would do with depicting other cultures. Like, they just, rather than just pointing out the way that they do things is in just a matter-of-fact sense. And I think they did a great job of putting our like fish out of water character, who's so not used to it, in there, played by Brendan Fraser, because he's just, for one, he's a very nice person, but he's also very genuine and curious about wanting to like understand and integrate himself more. Like, he's made an effort to learn the language. He's been living there for like a good while. Like, he wants to consider it home, and he's very open to them. Like, it wouldn't make sense for him to do the typical thing of like, oh, you guys are so weird and like do stuff so odd and strange. Like, you're all so backwards around here. Back in America, we don't do it like this. No, he's like open to it and curious and willing to work around it, which is very refreshing. And you know what? I would honestly, not very, very rarely I would give this score, but I would actually give Rental Family a 10 out of 10. I genuinely cannot find, like, there's nothing about it that I think, like, knocks it or that I didn't like. Like, the acting is fantastic, the cinematography is fantastic, the directing is fantastic, the script is fantastic, the dialogue is fantastic, the editing is fantastic, the music is fantastic. It's such a well put together film. Okay, I think I got that guy. Yes, I did. Oh Oh yeah, my stream was what I said you needed to. Yeah, I completely forgot what I was talking about when I said that. Again, more evidence that like I just regularly brain wipe when I do these streams. Like Max, who's that? Payne? Huh?
Videotape lay on the desk.
Okay, he said something about a desk. I think. There we go.
Nicole Horn had blackmailed the inner circle into silence. The tape came with a curt extortion note on a piece of expensive paper. I remembered Candy Dawn taping her clients in action on the side, selling the tapes to the highest bidder. I was sure that kinky sex was nowhere near Alfred Woden's worst sin. But I had a feeling that when this was over, any collateral would come in handy.
Nice. I agree that line is fantastic as well, and it does perfectly like summarize the idea of the best way to embrace a culture is knowing that you'll never like fully understand it. Like even if like I've lived in Ireland my whole life, I very sparingly travel, and I would say there is so much about my own country that I don't fully grasp and never will.
Woden had left me a present.
And like you've got tourists or people who travel or people who move or whatever who think that they're just going to go somewhere and figure out everything about how like a culture or another place works, and it's like that's not really how anything works.
Taking care of my mission preps with military precision. The critical areas in the Acer Corporation headquarters blueprints were circled in red. The president's office was at the top of the building, right below her penthouse suite. The elevators were controlled by a security computer, part of the mainframe located underground below the building. The high-rise was sealed as tight as a sci-fi fortress.
Okay, don't want to use the, well, yeah, it's got a lot of ammo, but nah, I'll hold off on that. Or actually, wait, this, why am I not using this? Okay, so next movie. What did I watch before? Let's think back here. Oh, let's go sentimental value. Because I saw this twice. I saw it the first time I saw it though. I saw an online version of it with really bad subtitling. I'm convinced that the subtitles went through like a terrible, like Chinese whispers type. It was initially in Norwegian. I think it's a Norwegian film. And then it was translated from Norwegian into French, and then translated from French then into English. And it just didn't work at all. The subtitle, like even when they were speaking English in the movie, there's a few moments where they speak English. The English subtitles were not matching at all with what they were saying in English. But yeah, I'm so glad that I got to rewatch that movie properly with actual subtitles, and I also got to see it with a great crowd. It was very nice to be in a full room for a film like that. I would loosely put it in the, I don't know if I'd put it in the heartwarming category. There's definitely aspects of it, familial aspects, that are heartwarming for sure. Like there are dynamics of family support. I think one thing that I really appreciated about the movie, particularly towards the start of it, is how characters are very willing to hear each other out at points. Where you would think the usual movie thing is to just be like, no, I never want to talk to you, blah blah blah, and then like, don't speak to me, or whatever. Like, and even if in reality that'd be totally valid, I think from a story perspective, it's just a bit like, it's a bit too clear cut, and I'd rather something build up to that point rather than just having a setup of or a dynamic of characters that have this history behind them, and then they're just instantly like this animosity there. Whereas here, it's like they do have that history. The father is estranged for some time, but like the daughter speaks to him and meets up with him, and they have an exchange, and it's not like it feels very natural, I think. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here. 'Cause this feels like a dead end. Wait, no, that's a door I can go through, right? Or was that where I came from? Yeah, this is where I came from. Oh, here we go. Is it safe? The main actor also, Skarsgård. I'm not even gonna. I keep forgetting his name. I've been reminded of his. Oh wow. I've been reminded of his name like 5 times in the last few days, and I just keep forgetting it. He's a phenomenal actor. He was really good as Luthen in Andor, for anyone who's seen Andor. Which should also... What is exploding there? Is there a laser that I'm missing? Wait. There is a laser. Okay, so I gotta jump over that. Hold on. Oop. But yeah, a really like contemplative and kind of meta movie, because it's a lot of the movie is about how they're making a film, and I think it's got to be interesting. I'm so curious about what it must have been like on set, for the scenes where, there's one of the characters played by Skarsgård is a director, and he is directing a scene in the movie. So I gotta imagine on set, the actual movie director is directing an actor on directing a scene that isn't that is fictional. I wonder. I'm kind of curious about how. Was it maybe easier for him to get into that role because he's obviously got so much experience working with directors? I don't know also if he's directed stuff himself in the past. That would have helped. But yeah, I can imagine that getting confusing at times on the set. Okay, I can't jump over that. I was like, I'm not sure. But yeah, great movie, very emotional, very well acted. I felt a little bad for Elle Fanning because, while she does a great job in the movie, she's kind of cast specifically because she's a recognizable American Hollywood actress. That feels like a fish out of water in this high art independent film type world, that she's trying to that she's dipping her toes into, and she herself acknowledges in the film that she feels like this isn't appropriate for her. How the hell am I supposed to get through this? I'm sure if I'm gonna save, but I'm sure if I shoot this I'm gonna explode, right? Oh no, never mind. But yeah, she still did a great job. I love all of the unspoken story aspects of it. It's really interesting to look at and think about what characters are thinking in certain moments, which they really do bring direct attention to, and at particular moments that I won't spoil. But
I dreamed of revenge.
I gotta shut it for
Those
this.
dreams were always nightmares of coming close and then failing. Now I was close. I had a name to guide me. Nicole Horn. I had nothing to lose.
That's gonna save. Yeah, really pretty movie as well. It was so much of the film is plays into, because it's called sentimental value. There's the house that the characters grew up in, and where a lot of the movie. Why do I have a baseball bat out? What is going on? And then a lot of the movie takes place in this house that they grew up in, and it's established at the beginning of the movie that the house is very relevant. Why is this baseball bat equipped? So much of the movie is shot through windows from either exterior or interior, looking at characters who are outside the house through a window, or looking at characters inside the house from the outside. Oh, I don't have any. Am I baseball bat? Oh my god, this is so frustrating, and I can't think straight about this movie while I'm trying to work out what the hell is going on here. Okay. It's a kind of a complex movie to even talk about because there's so much going on character-wise. Another great, speaking of panic attacks, another great portrayal of a panic attack happens early on in the film too. Yeah, there's just a lot of it that hits a spot for me. That I really like. Yeah, save after. That's a good idea. Thank you for that. My brain wasn't braining enough to think. And I think it's also one of those ones where I'm going to be thinking about the ending of the movie for a long time. Okay, made some progress. I can see a lot of people watching the movie and just kind of feeling like they didn't really get it or didn't know what it was going for.
The Inner Circle had quite a track record. Project Valhalla had not been the only thing the Inner Circle had been involved in. There were rows of cabinets full of files. The Serpentine Secret Society went back a long way, always pulling strings from the shadows. I couldn't say I was sorry. Woden's moving some Byzantine power game and cut the Circle's membership roster to one. The old man wanted me on cleanup duty. It was my mess too.
Which, speaking of people either not getting or getting nothing out of a movie because they couldn't connect to it or whatever have you, something I've recently been seeing a lot is that reception for a movie I saw a couple of months ago, I think, or maybe just a month ago. Yeah, I don't think it was that long ago. Die My Love, which starred Robert Pattinson, and I'm definitely gonna miss up Jennifer Lawrence, yes. Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. And I think what's been interesting is I've seen people put Die My Love as like in their worst movies of 2025 lists, and I've seen people rate it extremely low, or I have seen people put it in their top movies of 2025 and rate it extremely high. It's got this crazy either you love it or you hate it reception, but what's interesting to me is that I think it's appropriate to what the movie is trying to say about a lot of real relationship dynamics. Where if you watch the movie and you find yourself relating more to Robert Pattinson's character, and you find Jennifer Lawrence's character to be kind of off-putting, or just like, oh, you're like, oh, she just whines and she's just like causing problems all the time and she's just being overly dramatic, blah blah blah, then that you're kind of why the movie was made. And those seem to be the kind of people I'm finding that are rating it very low because they're not connecting with the text so much and what it's trying to say, because they're like part of the reality that the movie is kind of trying to address, where it's sort of about how, as unintentionally as it can be, like certain people can just like disappear into relationships and become completely like overlooked and abused in an emotional way, but not in the usual overt kind of. It's more of an unspoken kind of abuse, and I think that's something that people don't really know enough about or relate to or can understand, because like it's not something that we kind of address a lot when we do talk about relationship problems, but that this movie kind of is. And I think it's the first movie I've seen to address that kind of a relationship issue, where it's more about a distancing and a like jumping of responsibility on your partner and expecting them to take on all this kind of baggage, and just sort of quietly making like life as a whole about yourself rather than a partnership. is more what this movie was getting at, but it's not something that I think a lot of people are quite aware of, and so a lot of people were just like, I don't get it. She's just, why is she like this? And yeah, side rant over about Die My Love. What did I see? The last one I talked about was Sentimental Value, which was, I say, a very good, would recommend. Before that, I think I saw... Would it have been... No, I talked about Wake Up Dead Man on the last stream. Did I talk about... I don't think I talked about Marnie Supreme. I don't think I'd seen it at that point. Which is great. No, surely I would have. Yeah, no, I would have, because... I would have seen it, but maybe I didn't talk about it. Empathize with Carol. No, I don't think I did talk about Marnie Supreme, but Marnie Supreme was amazing. I guess a potential spoiler for my what I hope will be my upcoming video. I want to make a ridiculous over the top just ranking list of 2025 movies. I'm aiming for 150, but whatever it comes out to, when I like run out of stuff, is like whatever it'll be. I might like just find whatever just to squeeze in, like, for that to make up 150, because I'm over 100 on my list anyways. I've got so many other stuff on the back burner right now, but like I've been pretty committed lately to watching all of these movies, so I feel like that's more incentive for me to actually get this thing out the door. Once I do watch like everything that I intend to. But I guess a potential spoiler for that video is that at the moment I'm feeling like Marty Supreme is my favorite movie of 2025. Damn it. It's fantastic. Everything about it is just, oh my god. Like I gave Rental Family a 10 out of 10, and I would also give Marty Supreme a 10 out of 10, but I just like, it's just that bit more unique, or it hits that bit more of a film nerd's itch for me in comparison. Everything about it. I've had the soundtrack by, oh, what's his name? Daniel something. Hold on, let me check this really quick. Daniel Lopatin, who also did the soundtrack for Uncut Gems, which I need to listen to more. I know the Uncut Gems soundtrack was incredible, but I have never like taken the time to just listen to it like I have been the Marty Supreme soundtrack. But yeah, great movie. I love I think it's Josh Safdie, like his kind of stories, Uncut Gems and Good Time, where they're very much about, like, so many movies are about characters like going through an arc and changing and becoming a different person or learning a lesson or whatever by the end, but his movies are very much like about people whose whole thing is that they just don't change. They're just hell-bent on relentlessly ruining their own life, and they cannot help themselves. They're just like built for self-destruction, and I find that so, like, it creates so many opportunities for interesting drama, and it makes for such great tension. And I love this idea of like betraying an audience, because the expectation that you've built up from like watching movies for so like your whole life is that a character gets to a certain point or gets to a certain goal and they just like roll with it, like they're in there, and we know that they've been working towards that, like us the audience have been rooting for them to get to there, and then they just do something to fuck themselves over and just completely betray our expectations in a way that I'm kind of in love with. I love that sort of like those subversions, but like they instantly make a movie more rewatchable, or make a movie live in my head more than a movie that just does what I kind of expect it to, even if the movie is good and I enjoy it and it does what I expected it to. Just stuff like this is gonna make me think about it for years. Like, I'm gonna be thinking about Marty Supreme for so long after seeing it, especially that ending. There's this idea in in story writing of whether a character a movie will usually end with a character either getting what they want or what they need, or like one or the other. So they get what they need but they didn't get what they want, or they get what they want but they didn't get what they need. And I'm going to be thinking about that a lot when it comes to Marty Supreme, because it is such a complicated thing to answer in that regard. But of course I'm not going to spoil it and say why that is here on stream. But yeah, definitely haven't checked it. Also, as a sports movie, I'm typically not a big... I'm not a sports guy at all. Yeah, great time to come back for the Marty rant. I'm not a sports movie guy at all. I'm pretty picky when it comes to movies that are about sports, because I just don't find them that interesting. But what was so good about this is that usually the exceptions that I have for sports movies that I enjoy is when they're just more about the drama or the character dynamic, like something like Saipan, than the sport itself. But in Marty Supreme, the sports scenes of just them playing table tennis were so engaging. It was insane. I was so locked in, and what I appreciated so much from a filmmaking point of view is the level of editing restraint that they had in showing the table tennis matches. Like, the typical movie thing would be to like... What's happening? Who is shooting at me right now? Oh, hello. They're rappelling down from the ceiling, I guess. But yeah, is to like do a slow motion shot where we like get really close to see the ball like flying across the table through the air. It has the restraint to just let these riveting, tense, fast-paced matches just play out as they are on screen, and it makes it so much more engaging than if they did the cheesy like Hollywood dramatic editing type thing. And I think that there's a kind of an irony or a humor to the movie that it's about table tennis because as a sport it's kind of something that you wouldn't really think much of, especially since it's a film that takes place like 80 years into the past, and we know now that table tennis never really took off in a way that like other somewhat more niche sports did, like MMA or like or even like slap fighting have in today's culture. Like, people don't really talk about table tennis or table tennis championships in the way that they seem to be revered in a sense of like, oh, this is going to be like, it's going to be huge in America or whatever. Like, there's that line in the trailer from Marty himself where he's like, it's only a matter of time before you're going to be staring at me on the back of a Wheaties box. Like, he thinks it's going to become that big, but it's just like table tennis, and we know that it doesn't. Which, like, it adds a level of irony and humor behind how serious and dramatic and tense this whole movie is, that just lays underneath the surface the whole time. That I absolutely love. Oh, what are these guys talking about?
Oh, this is the real thing. The money's astronomical, and best of all, you get to kill any scumbag who gets in your way. License to kill, like James Bond.
Speaking of... Oh, how did that not just instantly end you? That was pointed right at your head. Oh, no. Anyways, yeah, also just, like, seriously impressive. I don't know how, like, I haven't seen Challengers yet, and I need to watch it, but, I assume it's very much also the case. It's so impressive to me that, like, actors can come in and just, like, take up a skill for one movie role and just do it so convincingly. Like, that's ridiculously impressive. Like, I'm already, like, on board with the fact that you're an actor. And, like, there's a lot of times where you're like, oh, they could just use doubles for this pretty easily. Get someone else in to do it. But, like, no, they've got, like, close-ups of Timothée Chalamet's face and stuff when he's playing table tennis. So it's pretty, like, difficult to swap him in, and it's, like, unmistakable that that's him who's playing at this moment. And, like, you're not just trying to sell him as a good table tennis player. You're trying to sell him as, like, one of the best table tennis players in the fucking world in this plot. So that's no small feat for someone who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna take up table tennis for a job, basically. Like that I cannot get over that. I also can't imagine just how crazy good this movie must be for the actual world of table tennis right now.
Let's finish this.
Okay, this is the earlier on I was like, there's a difficult part at the end of this level. I'm pretty sure this is it. So we need to throw in your luck emojis in the chat, guys. It's lock-in time. Yeah, that's why he's got one of those ridiculous guns. I think they all do. Like, what is that? I think they all have jackhammers. I think that's why this was so difficult when I played it before. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw that. Dude's life must be crazy. I know it's a fictionalized and roughly loosely based dramatized version of his life, but I would be surprised if he was still alive today, but I'm sure he has family that are still alive today, and I'm like, I wonder what they all think of this. Which is also something I thought about Saipan at multiple instances. Like, I wonder if what Roy Keane thinks about this movie. Let's see if there. Which I haven't looked into much of what the actual life of Marty Wiseman is, but if it's in any way loosely inspired this movie, I can imagine it must be fucking wild. Pretty sure this is the end of the level, then I just go out here? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I think this is it. The last mission. Pretty, I hope, I think.
All but done before. An eye for an eye, the first principle of revenge. Old as dirt, still going strong. The cardinal rule in going after someone with an intention to kill was not to make it personal, which it almost always ended up being anyway. It did with me. I took my time, cruising around the city of the snow. There was no hurry. I knew what I had to do now. I took my time, thinking about it, building up the rage. When I was ready, I parked the stolen wheels at the front entrance of the Acer Corporation headquarters. Got out, got in, got cracking. I had a bullet with Nicole Horn's name on it. I had 10,000 bullets with the Hag's name on them. She had ultra-high-tech security systems, enough mercenaries and weaponry to start World War III. There was no fear. New York disappeared behind a veil of snow. I had crossed the threshold. This was her domain, sleek and sexy and soulless, all glass and steel. A place of color-coded security key cards, metal detectors, and surveillance systems.
Pretty dialogue, oh my god. That's funny. About the other football, I'm curious about who that was, but not that I'd know anyways. I don't know anything about football, but I mean, like, the movie up front at the beginning says it's a dramatization of real life events, so it's kind of silly that he's mad about it, but I don't know how I'm doing as well as I'm doing right now. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that was not going to last much longer. Alright. Maybe this is a job for the cult commando. I love like, you already know that it's this game has like tons of inspiration and like homage to the Matrix with the bullet dodge and or the bullet time stuff. But like, this is obviously just taking a direct like rip from the security scene in the first movie, which is a great scene in a great film. Dude, like, we just cannot hit each other. Okay, there we go. Yes, Marty Supreme, Supremely Marty, great movie. Would recommend. The record needs to be set straight on a few falsehoods so that people learning about Saipan via the film do not think we were a pub team on tour. We were not pissheads. Such an overt suggestion is an insult to the non-drinkers and gym-obsessed players in the group. I mean... even if they weren't really like that, again, it's not a documentary, but it works for the dramatization of what the story is trying to tell, and it works for what the conflict of how the world viewed the Irish team at the time was, which was that they were viewed as just a bunch of like, just a bunch of pissheads, just a bunch of like, they're just there for a bit of fun, and like they're not expected to actually get anywhere. Oh god, I forgot about. Yep, this bit is ridiculous. This bit is crazy. Okay, this is. I'm gonna need to focus up for this. So from what I remember, definitely a sniper job, and I think I need to go all the way to the back of this room. Zoom in. Okay. Zoom in all the way. And then just sort of peek out. Yeah, like they're already shooting at me. And they can hit me. And I can't see them. I don't know where they are. Okay. Alright, let's focus in here. Okay, where's the first guy? He's there. That's wild. Like, that's so overpowered. Like, they're hitting me before I can even remotely see them. Is he not right there? Oh, shit. Oh, there he is. Okay, they stopped shooting. Wait, what? How did that not hit him? What? It even gave me the cam for the close-up bullet thing. Oh, I got cheated. And again, they can hit me just fine. Okay, come on, aim, left. Oh, stop shaking my camera. Oh, this is ridiculous. How did I do this before? I feel like there is a way to kind of cheese this. To where you can see them with the sniper, but they can't see you. But I'm not figuring it out from here. This is just absurd. Oh. No, that didn't look like it was a hit. Aim down. Ugh. That was a hit, surely. Yes, okay, go. That has to be a hit. Oh, okay. Wait, is there another one? There's another one. Where? Oh, there. That's a hit, right? Yes. Are we done? Are we finished? If there was two down there, you'd think there would be two up the top, but I don't see one. Whew. Okay. Okay, other movie I've seen recently. I haven't talked about Eleanor the Great, which was directed by Scarlett Johansson. It was her directorial debut, and a pretty good one, I would say. Another very heartwarming movie. Also has old ladies in it. It's like, it's almost like cheating. It's like if you've got old women in your movie, I'm like already endeared by the cast. And like if you're at any point gonna make them sad or cry or like show how lonely they are, I'm just gonna be like, yep, yeah, you got me in tears. Oh, Friendship. I haven't gotten to Friendship yet. But I think yeah, I'll do friendship after. Thank you for reminding me. I'll get to that after Eleanor here. Yeah, was disappointed that I couldn't see it in the cinema because the cinema that I usually go to, while they advertised it, they didn't actually screen it for some reason. No idea why. Did I get him? Yes, I did. But I did end up just watching it at home, and quite enjoyed it, I would say. Yeah, I remember this. I can't actually detonate that. I have to go around it. Ooh. Where were you coming from? Where is this guy? Oh, there he is. Nice. Yeah. Very endearing movie. Good characters. Oh, you know who's the actual? Even though, I would say the main actress who plays Eleanor does a great job, and her drama and her stuff is very engaging and heartfelt. I think the real star of the show, actually, that really sold this movie for me, and kind of just took over, was the actress who plays, again, I'm terrible with names, I'm not going to remember the character name. She's in, funny enough, she's in an MCU thing. She's in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think. And again, I don't know what her character name is in that. But she plays a journalism student. Yeah, she plays a journalism student who's interviewing Eleanor and getting to know her throughout the film. I'm not gonna say why, because it actually doesn't say in the trailer what the sort of unique deal with Eleanor's character is. So it's an interesting thing to go in and discover about it. But just do know that it is very emotional and well put, and yeah, it's just a very well executed movie. Goes. But yeah, the character who plays the young college student interviewing her did a very good job. She honestly, yeah, she sold me on the movie, I think, even more so than Eleanor did. But my one and only complaint about the movie, and it's a pretty small one, and it's one that I can kind of empathize with it being a directorial debut, especially. Well, what does it say in the trailer about her? Just to clarify this, because we could be talking about what I think you are, but there's an extra aspect to it in the movie that you do find out pretty quickly, but finding out about it is more where the interest comes from. From what I remember of the trailer, though, yes, yeah. The trailer, there's more to it. There's a twist to that. Again, I'm not gonna say what it is, but yeah, the trailer does kind of play it straight as if like, oh, she's a concentration camp survivor. I won't spoil, but there's more to it. More to it than that. That does make the movie quite interesting. That I will not spoil. Yeah, great movie though. Okay, friendship. Very interested in talking about this movie. This was a wild film, start to finish. The first, I would say, 40-ish minutes to an hour. It's kind of a short movie. I think it's only an hour and a half, but the first hour or so is so unpredictable and throws off so many of my just like media trained brain expectations in the best kind of way. Ooh, nice. Somebody just blew themselves up. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I was in love with how like unpredictable the movie was for that first part. I was so just enjoying all the wild twists and turns that the movie takes. Also, yeah, I'm gonna save after every single one of these lasers I get through, because the I also might need to pay more attention here. Well, yep, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up for a second and just focus on getting through these lasers here. Okay, so it goes up, goes down. Up. They both go down at the same time at some point, right? Like there. Yeah, okay. Save it again. At some point in this, I think a guy also shows up at the end of the corridor. I gotta watch out for that. Alright, I'm just gonna walk under that one, that's fine. Yep, literally, save lock in, save lock in. Yeah. I was right about this guy. No, stop shooting the wall. Okay. Killed him. Save. Just in case. Alright. Similar issue with this. I think they're gonna both go down. Yeah, okay, they both go down there. Or there. That works too. Okay, is this another just walk underneath it thing? Yeah, it is. Are we gonna get a person? Nope. Okay, last one. I can't remember if there's two of these laser hallways or just one. Again, I know I bring this up all the time, but that was an absolute bitch to get through on the PS2 version of this game, because you couldn't see the lasers, you couldn't see the textures for them at all. They were so blurred. The only way that you could see them was you see the way there's like a little like dot on the left edges. I would look at those, but I couldn't see the actual laser itself at all. But yeah, okay, friendship. The movie, not just the thing. I didn't just randomly say friendship. I'm normally, first of all, quite skeptical if I see Paul Rudd casted in something, because I feel like he usually just plays like the cool guy, like same-ish sort of role. It's hard to look past him, because like it's just like, yeah, that's Paul Rudd on screen. But they cast him perfectly in this movie, because there's something really uncanny and strange about the way people are in this. And they very much play into that idea by casting him. I think they're very aware that he has this sort of effect on, like, or just this kind of personality outside of the films that he's in and that he's known for, of just being a cool guy, that they really play on here. And it gives the movie this, like, and the movie and his character this kind of bizarre, uncanny sense about it. That's hard to pin down. This whole movie and its characters are quite hard to pin down, I would say, but in essence, and I love, oh my god, the synopsis for this movie is hilarious. Hold on, I gotta pause and read it out here. Just 1 second. Because I had to like triple take on the synopsis for this movie. I read it out loud to myself like 3 times before it fully sunk in. So I was like, what does that mean? Like, I couldn't piece together what this movie could possibly be about based on the synopsis alone. Yeah, okay. Suburban dad Craig falls hard for his charismatic new neighbor as Craig's attempts to make an adult male friend threaten to ruin both of their lives. I was so just like, what do you mean? Like, how could you possibly be threatening to ruin your life and another person's life through wanting to be their friend? What is? I had to double take this synopsis so many times before I actually started the movie, and revisiting it now, I'm still like, yep, that's actually a perfect summation of the movie's plot. Obviously, there's a lot more going on in the movie than just like a guy wants to be his friend and he's ruining his own and his friend's life by trying to be his friend. But that synopsis is just so hilarious, and I think also speaks to just how absurd the movie is in general. It's such an absurdist type film, and it's very surreal. But really funny. The most I've laughed in a movie in a very long time. Hold on, I think there's a cutscene here. Yeah, there is.
Hold up. Looking good.
Max, we gotta stop meeting like this. It will be a cold day in hell before I let a narc cop stop me. Miss Sachs, do your job.
Oh, she's working for her?
Relax, Max. You're a nice guy. I don't kill nice guys.
You're not bad yourself. yourself.
It was different when Horn wanted Punchinello dead. To cut her ties to the Mafia, he deserved to die.
The same goes with her. She's the bad guy here. Her sister was whispering to her in my favor. I knew the appetites of ghosts intimately. They hungered for revenge.
Oh, that's such a great line.
A gunshot boomed and she fell
Unreal.
down in slow motion. She was a nice girl. Not really a stone cold killer. And
She
after
was stone cold dead.
The religious fanatics and loyal samurai Horn's private army was coming at me.
This is a terrible situation to be in. I don't like it. Oh, thank God. Alright. But yes, Friendship. Very funny movie. A lot of the editing choices in it, like, oh my God, there are like transition, it's like scene transition edits in this movie that had me in stitches, which is not something that I would say very frequently, or if ever at all, to be honest.
Came back down. Mona was gone. There was a lot of blood, but no body. Something clicked for the final time. My mind had never been so clear, as if somewhere high above the storm clouds were already
Oh, is this the part with the helicopter?
Cold stars blazing from the black skies.
Yes, it is. Oh, wait. Yes and no. This part is kind of tricky. Okay, so it autosaves. Again, at least this is the Xbox version, so I'm kind of okay here, but... yeah, this isn't as bad. It's just mostly a matter of, like, being able to see where they are. I think it's... is it this side? Yeah, it is. Oh, how am I not hitting that? What? Damn it. Oh, it was going so well. Explode? Okay, I think something is happening. I'm just not able to hit these anymore. No, it's that side. Hit it! Hit it! Thank you. Oh no, 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 no. What? Okay, this side. What is this gun? Oh no. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I think that's it. I don't see any more lasers. Whew. Yeah, this isn't even the most stressful elevator section in this level. I think the next one is coming up soon, though. I'm gonna save.
In all the cool action movies, and I'm talking about the coolest of the cool, it always seems like time slows down in the middle of the action. You know, you can see
Yeah, they're just
bullets
referencing bullet
flying
time here. Nice. Apparently, Friendship is also quite a divisive movie. Either it's got a sort of either you love it or you hate it reception, which I kind of get. It makes a lot of very bizarre choices, and I think you can come out of it kind of feeling like what was the point, in terms of its overall story. But it sort of reminds me about what I said about the Josh Safdie films earlier, where it's kind of about a movie. It's a movie that's not really about someone who has an arc. They kind of just are a certain way, and their way is very self-destructive. And the movie is about taking them through this absolute journey that their kind of personality brings them on. It's also, if you're someone who doesn't like to cringe, not a great choice of film. There are a lot of very cringeworthy moments in the movie. Intentionally so, though. It's not like, oh, this is so bad, it's cringy. It's like, a main character is very adamant on having, like, all the attention on him at pretty much all times. He's very narcissistic, and so he will frequently say and do things that are socially just, like, most people would be like, oh yeah, that's a big no-no to do in front of others that you don't know very well, especially. But like, he doesn't have that level of self-awareness, so it's cringe in that way, and he'll very frequently say and do things that put him in those kind of awkward social situations. So if you're someone who like can't handle that very well, who can't handle cringe, then might be a bit of a tough watch for you. The point really is the friends we made along the way. That was the true gold, the true treasure, all along. Okay, this is another section I remember being difficult. I'm gonna have to focus up here. Let's equip the Ingrams and save. Pretty sure what happens here is after I press that button, a bunch of people start like converging. Or maybe they don't. Hold on.
I had elevator access to the mainframe. From there, I'd be able to override the security lock.
Yeah, there we go. I knew it. Oh no, he didn't die from that. There we did. Ah, oh, that was almost good.
I had elevator access to the mainframe.
Nice. Let's see what's wrong with the thing. Nice. Okay. That went well. And then I think I'm out here, right? Okay, this could be the dreaded elevator sequence that I was thinking of earlier. Yes, it is. Oh no. Yep. Can't even like. Okay. I don't know if it's there, but I do think there is a section where I'm stuck in the elevator and I have to shoot the helicopter. The leap is great. I remember this section also being pretty difficult. Okay, let's try and be efficient about this. That's pretty efficient. Oh, not efficient enough.
I'm not a cold-blooded.
Oops. Why do I not? Oh, I don't have bullets? Oh no, I didn't realize I didn't have any bullets left.
I'm not a cold-blooded killer.
Oh no, they're both still alive.
I hate to be
Kinda looked like I was humping him from behind, but we'll ignore that.
Nice guy. I love my wife.
I don't know if I killed him or not. I didn't.
I hate to be
Okay.
stereotyped.
I don't have enough bullets in that to properly take these guys on.
I love my
Well,
wife.
let's
I have two
see if this
boys
is
I'm
any
really
better.
proud of.
Nice, okay. Oh yeah, I remember this room being kind of tough. There's just a lot of people that are difficult to get a beat on here. But who apparently also have pretty powerful weapons. Let's get back onto the movie talk though. Okay, after Friendship, did I see anything else? Oh yeah, I went to see Primate, a horror movie which is basically like a slasher, but the slasher killer is a monkey, and that's about as deep as it goes. Pretty disappointed by this one. The poster is sick and set a much higher expectation for what the film actually was than it turned out to be, so kudos to whoever made the poster for it. You did a great job on tricking me. Although it was a scream unseen, so I didn't know what I was seeing in advance, but I did intend on seeing it anyways when it did come out, so in either case I still feel kind of tricked. Yeah, very stupid movie. A lot of very stupid characters that have little to no personalities whatsoever. They're just kind of there to either die or be like generic, oh no, I hope the monkey doesn't get me type deal. Yeah, a lot of inconsistency with the level of strength the monkey has, at several points. A lot of inconsistency with how strong the monkey is. There's points where, like, the monkey will do something and put the characters in a position where I'll think to myself, oh, there's no way now that they're gonna be able to get out of this situation. Like, they're fucked now that the monkey has done this. And then the monkey will just not try it again. You know what? I try to avoid spoiling movies when I talk about them here, but I have less hang-ups on this one. So there's a, because it's like, uh, it's a slasher movie about a monkey. Like, what you're not gonna be all that, like, yeah, people die and whatever. But there's a point where they spend most of the movie trapped in the swimming pool. It's like their point of safety because chimpanzees can swim. And at a certain point, there's like this netting that's directly above them, and the chimp climbs up on the netting, reaches down, grabs one of them by the head, and like rips a chunk of her hair out. But by that point, I was like, oh wow, she wasn't like massively like poking her head up above the water. If the chimp could grab her hair with ease and rip it out from hanging up on the rope, then they're all pretty much fucked. Like, it could grab any of them pretty much at any time, surely. But then the movie just kind of forgets that the chimp ever did that, and the monkey never attempts to do that again. It just sort of walks off and goes back to being like, ah, you guys, goddamn you and your hair. It's like, yeah, just grab them by the head next time, maybe, or if you reached a little lower, possibly even the throat. Like, yeah, they could go under the water to get away from it, but honestly, like, just wait them out. Like, wait them out until they come back above water, because, you know, humans can't breathe underwater, so yeah, and they were inconsistent. There was a shot that made the net look a lot lower initially. Like, it looked like the net was like a couple of feet above their heads when it initially reached down and grabbed one of them by the hair. And then there was another shot later that made the net seem like it was up much higher. So not quite, like, I guess that was their excuse to have the monkey not try it again. But yeah, terrible movie. Even the kills were a bit of a letdown. So like one or two of them was like well done on like a gore like effect type thing. I will say the monkey itself, I assume it's some kind of a combination between an actual person in a suit and CGI, but it looks quite good. I'll say that much. I appreciate that. Okay, I kind of remember this room from when I played before. I think what I'm supposed to do, and maybe I'm remembering wrong, either I just need to interact with one of these computers to progress. Okay, no. Or I need to smash up these. Yes, I do. I need to smash these up. And does it spawn more people in when I do? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Ah. Okay. Let's see, what am I doing? I also don't know where to come from specifically. Nope. No, I didn't mean to equip that. How did I not blow myself up? Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. Damn it. I was trying to equip the cult. Oh, that's where they come from. Okay, well, good to know. Yeah, Primate. Very stupid movie. Very difficult to enjoy, even just like as a dumb thrasher, to be honest. Where like the characters don't have personality and they're just there to be like an excuse for fun, like kills. Like another like Friday the 13th type, like let's kill the stupid horny teenagers type movie. Also, there's a lot of implication on this having sequels, which is wild to me. Oh, they spawned before I've even broken the third one. Oh, okay. That was interesting. I didn't think that was how that worked. Okay, so if I break that, I'll break that, and then they spawn in now. What? Can this game be consistent, please? Every other time they've spawned in from that side, and now they're just like, no. Right, okay. Oh. Screw this. I'm using the big guns. I'm tired of these. Oh my god! Even the big guns can't do it. At this point, I'm like, maybe the baseball bat is going to be more effective against these people. This is ridiculous. Die, 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 die. Thank you. Oh, that was unbearable. Okay. Baseball bat. Save. Oh no, I can't remember a single character's name from that movie. Is it gonna spawn anyone else in? Yeah, I heard him say the elevator would take me all the way up, so I guess I'm going back into the elevator. Save again. Who's shooting at me? What is happening? Where is this person? What? Huh? Are you in the elevator? What is going on? Oh, okay, I saw them. They're like over... Ah, so I had to go in this elevator. Yep. Well, at least I know that. Okay. Finally. Alright. Okay. We are getting close to the end. Yeah, Primate would not recommend. I think it's the only movie I've brought up on this stream that I would say I don't recommend. Everything else has been great. I watched a lot of really great movies over the last like week or so. And hopefully going to see another great one tomorrow. I'm going to see the 28 Years Later sequel, Bone Temple. Very excited for that. Oh no, is this the one with the helicopter where I actually have to shoot it? Oh no, I don't like this. Okay, no, we're good. What have we got to work with? Yeah. You know what, I'm gonna hit a quick bathroom break before I proceed. I will be back shortly. I need to get music for this screen. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's get rid of this. Yes, okay. Let's move on. 28 Years Later was another quite divisive movie from what I remember at the time that it came out. So I'm very interested to see how this one is received. Because I think people expected 28 Years Later to have much more of an action blockbustery feel to it. And it was much like the first 28 Years Later, a more like character-focused perspective take on how people would like react to and respond with something like this happening. I think I know why this section of the game in particular is so difficult. I think it's just because the NPCs rush you a lot more here. For a lot of the rest of the game, they just sort of sit back and wait for you to approach them. But when the NPCs rush you in this game, they can be very difficult to deal with. Okay, thank God they have jackhammers. Which sounds kind of ironic considering it's a weapon that's very devastating if used against me, but I'm glad that they're using them so that I have more ammo for my jackhammer. Yeah, we have a few slashers that were out recently, like the last one I can think of was that Silent Night remake thing, which honestly looked absolutely terrible, and not even in an I can join this because it's so bad, like so bad it's good kind of way. It just looked like very uninteresting, and the kills and stuff aspect of it looked really bland. But I think the original Silent Night, Deadly Night was more of a so bad that it's good type affair, if I remember right. Anyways, but this one looks like it's not quite hitting that threshold because it's got more of a budget look behind it. I can't remember what studio was making it, but it is one of those big name ones that I recognized. Oh my god, I don't have enough time to like turn around and shoot these guys. Let's see. Let's see if I can put them in. Yep. Jesus Christ. Predictions for 28 Years Later. Well, I'm excited to see more Jack O'Connell and more what they do with his character, Jimmy. He got a lot of interesting setup in the first movie, and it's very much implied that he has a very big role for the rest of these movies. So I'm interested to see where they go with that. Particularly in how there's a lot of connections drawn and between him and Jimmy Savile for people who don't know what that is. He used to have a show in the UK called Jimmy'll Fix It. That was sort of like a Make-A-Wish type thing for children, but he was incredibly predatory towards the kids that ended up on the show in ways that came out later after he died, unfortunately. So he never, I think, got to see any real justice for the shit that he did. And I never would have thought, you know what, that would be an interesting concept to put into a zombie post-apocalyptic film. But here we are, this is what we're doing, so I'm very curious to see what they do with that. But we're obviously immediately drawing that connection with him sort of taking a child under his wing, who was the main character in the first film, really. Spike, I think, was his name. Sorry, I'm also just kind of struggling here because the game is throwing a lot at me. As you can see. I also wonder what they're doing with oh, what's the name of the actor? He was in the terrible, well, not terrible, one of the bad, like Sony Spider-Man villain movie. He was Kraven the Hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they're doing with his character because he was very present and he had a lot of interesting things going on in the first movie. And I can't remember if he's in the trailer at all for Bone Temple, thinking back on it. Oh my god, these guys are just brutal. Again, like I'm saying, it's just because they rush you. It's a combination of them rushing you and having shotguns that, like, they're just very, very efficient. Oh, like, I don't have a chance here. It's crazy. I know. I think it's just because he starred in that one, like he was the main guy that the movie was named after. Like he was the title character. I don't think there's any other roles that he's been in where he's just like he's great in Bullet Train, but he's not the main guy in that. And he was great in Nosferatu, but again, he's not the main guy in that. So I guess that's just why my brain like instantly went to the movie where he was the main guy. Which is such a shame because he's a great actor and he's mostly in great projects. That he ended up in Kraven the Hunter was a national tragedy. Or a global tragedy, I should say. Okay, I think I've got 2 of them. Oh, that was exhausting. Oh, painkillers. Someone's got painkillers. Okay, I'll take those. Anyways, yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with his character, if they do anything at all. Like, he might just not be present whatsoever, and then he'll come back in the 3rd movie. I have no idea.
Next to the printer was a neat stack of expensive paper. Hacking through Horn's computer would have unearthed files of criminal plans, strategies for world domination, spy helicopter reports, illegal wiretap recordings, internet porno, all of the above. Take your pick. I really didn't care anymore. I had seen too much of it already.
Oh, yeah. I like that change in the graphic to show that he's shot the screen. Nice bit of continuity there. But yeah, Bone Temple, I would say, though, is probably my most excited for film. Well, actually, no. Odyssey is probably slightly higher. It's different for me because I haven't seen, or, another cutscene.
That would lift you to a warrior's heaven, but it turned out to be a one-way demon ride to hell. The devil was in the drug. I knew. I had met him. And now I was gonna kill her. Queen of the underworld who had tried to lift herself a bit closer to heaven with her drug money. No begging, no bribes. She knew better. Honor among killers. We were about to die. Both of us knew how this would end. In pain and suffering.
All this because your wife stuck her nose into things that were none of her business.
The cops were coming to take me away. The sirens were like a bad conscience I couldn't shake.
It's ridiculous you've made it this far. You won't be alive when they get here. Stop him!
Alright. I remember this section too. This bit sucks. It's another one of those, you're just thrown up against it. I'm gonna need to probably use the, I don't think they can shoot through this. Okay, please hit him. Hit him before he kills me. Where did that go through? Oh, there's always one. Even though he made like... How is it we keep doing this, my guy? We've got to stop this. Reload. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh no. No, don't shoot directly into the chair, Max. Oh shit, yep, okay. Die. Okay, alright, Reload, reload, reload. Damn. That's a bad start. That's a bad start. Yeah. Phew. I thought he was going to dive there. I pressed the button and then he just didn't do it. No. That's a bad start. That's gonna kill me. Oh, okay. Okay, they're not rushing me. No, they are. Ay, ay, ay. Every time I replay this game, I hate this section. And I think the helicopter shows up and it gets kind of, in some ways, worse, but it's not quite as bad because I think you just need to stand. Like, you just need to know where to stand in the room and it's safe. And I'm, yeah, gonna save there just as soon as I kill those guys. Okay, nice. Okay, I'm gonna switch this out. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I'm just gonna stand here. I do think I'm supposed to fight back against this thing. That's not how, though. I vaguely remember having to shoot back at this, but... Damn it. Okay. Let's save here. We should have created a new save because I'm not entirely certain that this spot is like safe. Okay, I hope I'm doing something. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was doing something. Awesome. Supergirl is most look forward to this year. Yeah, that's another one that I'm looking forward to a lot. Nice. Oh, painkillers. I'll take those. Sorry for the constant saving. This feels, especially with a helicopter around outside, not safe. Also doesn't look like where I'm supposed to... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I remembered it was something on, like, the outside that I needed to walk across. That's not, I do like that I got to see that entire fall. That was fun. I forgot about that. It's just a cool detail also, again, for an old game that, like, I think most games would just cut straight to, like, instant death as soon as you fall off a death ledge. But, we got to see the whole journey down. And what a journey it was. Okay. Let's do this more carefully this time. Let's put our face in. There we go. You know, I'm gonna... I'm that... What? Oh no. Did I screw myself? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Out of here. Alright, that was unexpected. Am I supposed to chase that helicopter off again? I don't remember it showing back up. Obviously it does. Where is it? Where you at? Oh no, this is the jackhammer. I'm not using the gun I thought I was. Okay, there we go. I don't like saving there because I wasted a bunch of jackhammer ammo, but that's what it is. Alright, let's very carefully try to do this again. Ooh. Okay. This is, yeah, this is like the end, isn't it? Oh, that was not a good point to save. This is though. Oh, painkiller's full. Okay, and this is more. I'll take that. That is very aggressive, sir. Please calm down. I'm just one dude. That is so excessive. There we go. My god. Oh, no, that's no bullets. That's why I'm not shooting. Why did the jackhammer equip? I was hovering over the pistols. Oh no. Oh. Hold on. Nope, it didn't spawn yet. Okay, I think I just held the elevator button. So now there's no- Oh no, one of them has... Okay, that's not good. One of them has a grenade launcher. Maybe I can get one of them to blow themselves up. Alright, that didn't quite work out to plan. That's a grenade. That's a grenade. I dived right into it. I'm gonna die. Yep. Okay, maybe they don't have a grenade launcher. Maybe they just threw a grenade at me. That's what I thought it was. Okay, there's someone else back there, right? Right? Yes, there is. Okay, he doesn't have a grenade launcher. That's good. No, I did not die. Okay, we're fine. They just keep going. They don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. It's one of my favorite edits. This is someone editing the All-Star by Smash Mouth, but all the lyrics are like from the point where he first says and they don't stop coming, the rest of the song is just and they don't stop coming. I don't know why this made me think of it. This is completely unrelated to anything that I or chat just said, but I've recently been getting refixated on Smosh's Reddit, like, am I the asshole type posts, which they mostly do the am I the asshole posts, but sometimes they do other types. God damn it, stop equipping this. But there's one in particular that is just stuck in my head. And was somebody going on Reddit and asking if they were the asshole because they were, they saw their partner as less, like, they were less attracted to their partner because they they shit in the shower and then, like, waffle stomped the shit down the drain. And I can't stop thinking about this. It has ruined my life. Like, it's been in the back of my mind for most of this stream, I'm not gonna lie. It's very upsetting. But I just, oh my god. I love the idea of somebody just existing in life like that. And then getting mad at someone for being like, what the fuck? Like, what? And just, like, whatever. Like, people, like, have their own like idea of like what they do in their lives and what's sanitary and what isn't based on like whatever they grew up with. Um, but this is wild. Like, I don't know, like the idea of being mad at someone for being in any way, like what the fuck? Because you waffle stomp your shit down the toilet, or sorry, not down the toilet, down the shower drain, while taking a shower with your partner is absolutely like insane behavior to me. And like I know a lot of these stories could just be made up, like it's just somebody writing something on the internet. But yeah, that one is it's kind of ruined my life, and anytime I'm like even thinking about the prospects of a relationship now, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, are they gonna be like, are they gonna waffle stomp shit down the shower drain? Is this just gonna be something that I have to deal with? For thinking my boyfriend is cheating because he plays RPG games with sex scenes like Baldur's Gate. Yeah, I think I remember that one as well. There's a few ones that are kind of similar to that. There was one that I saw today that was like, it started off, the headline was am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to separate from her husband? And it's like, whoa, what? And then the end of it is like, in Stardew Valley. And it's like, oh, okay. But it was funny because it was still like, yeah, you're the asshole. Like, what the fuck? It's just a game. And it's Stardew Valley of all things to get insecure about is pretty wild. Oh no. I don't know how I survived any of that, by the way. Okay, this has got to be getting close to the end at this point. I feel like this level is starting to drag out, and I'm getting to sections and I don't even remember this, to be honest. I remember the final section pretty vividly. There's another laser hallway type deal, and then I'll, for the millionth time, complain about the PS2 version of the game once I get to. Wait, what did I not say? Okay. Sorry, excuse me. When I get to the end. But fun fact, I technically never fully finished the PS2 version of the game, and I'll explain how and why when I get to the end of this one. Damn it. My boyfriend believes in Santa and it was the most horror story coded shit. Yeah. That sounds familiar. I've been just binging so many of them that I'm like, that sounds like, yeah, that sounds like one of them I might have seen. There was another wild one actually that I remember listening to where it was like, my brother insisted on bringing a prosthetic leg with him wherever he goes, to the point where I had to request him, or like I had to tell him you could not show up to this like family function or whatever it was with the prosthetic leg. Like if I was coming, or if he was coming, to leave the prosthetic leg behind in his luggage from where he was traveling from. But it got so deep to the point where it's very possible that this guy got arrested because it came out that the type of prosthetic leg he had is very expensive, and it's not the kind of thing that you would just have and carry around with you. Like, they cost a lot of money. But somebody caught wind of this story because it like blew up on Reddit, and knew a person who was missing their prosthetic leg. And it's highly thought that what happened was the brother was had stolen the prosthetic leg off this person and was planning to like return it to them as like a lost and found, like for a reward. um, wild thing to steal off someone, but also the fact that he brought it with him everywhere to the point where he needed to be told by family, like, hey, don't bring this, please. Like, keep it in your luggage. Okay, fuck this. This is ridiculous. How did he not die? Is crazy, but the fact that a man might have actually gotten arrested as a result of one of these "Am I the asshole?" Type Reddit posts, and it was one of those ones too where it was particularly hilarious because the title of the post made it seem like the OP was going to definitely be the asshole, but then the story was not like that at all. Like, the title was just something like, "Am I the asshole for telling my brother he can't bring his prosthetic leg to the family function?" It's like, made it seem like you're just have something against prosthetic legs. Like, no, you're gonna hobble to the family function, or you're not gonna come at all. But no, it's the fact that he stole this thing and he's just like being really weird about it. Yeah. I think though, like, I have a conspiracy from seeing so many of them that, like, the more innocent sounding the title of an "Am I the Asshole" post is, the less likely that person is to be an asshole. And I think the reason why I think that too is because people who are genuinely not an asshole but are curious to know if they are like good natured enough that they aren't gonna make themselves sound good because they're like worried or wondering if they're doing something wrong, you know what I mean? So they're more likely to phrase something in a way that makes them sound bad because they themselves feel bad and want to know if, like, if they're right to feel bad about whatever it is they are. And then when you get more context, you're like, no, you're being like horribly gaslit, or there are other much more terrible things happening at play here that are not your fault. I thought I remember. Oh, maybe I'm misremembering. Oh, that's what it was. Wow. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought I remember there being lasers in this final part, but I think that what I was recalling was just the fact that there's a guy. So collecting it. Okay, well, now I know this is the end of the game, so I'm gonna just shut up and focus and let the rest of this thing play out. Okay, so what I'm gonna want to do here, when it ends, is I'm gonna switch, which is why I was equipping the grenade launcher to begin with. Because you're on a time restraint here, and you need to kill people just as efficiently as possible. So this is why it's important to save up ammo for this thing. Okay, wait, maybe this isn't. Oh yeah, okay, so. Maybe I'm misremembering the second one. Yeah, then that happens. Wait, did I already fail? I'm so confused. No, I didn't. Oh, okay, right, alright. Let me skip this, please. Why won't it let me skip this? Am I really gonna have to watch this every time? Okay, no, I'm saving as soon as this ends. Like, immediately. Oh, oops. Yeah, so as you saw me do once, I have to break both of these cable ties to bring down that tower. Whoops. I hope I didn't accidentally save my control settings there. That would be very bad. And the first one, yeah, first one is fine. The second one you need the sniper for, which is kind of an issue. Well, I don't know if you need the sniper. Maybe you don't. It seems like it's far away enough that you kind of do need the sniper. I'm gonna save again immediately. The grenade launcher. Right. Damn it. Oh my god, okay. This isn't. No, this will be. Shit. Forgot one of them had it as well. How is this killing me from this range? Okay, no, that makes sense, but... Okay. Yeah, alright, then save. And then what I want to do is equip the sniper. And then I want to jump up over here. Aim. And... Okay. Okay, maybe I need to aim up a little. Damn it. Yes! Alright. That's it. That's game. Right? Wait, maybe I need to go to the elevator. Hold on. Oh wait, maybe there's more? No? Oh no, I need to shoot the thing! Ah! Oh my god. Go. I forgot. Oh, I'm gonna run out of time. I'm 100% gonna run out of time. There we go. Oh, I forgot I had to hit the tower. I thought the cable ties just needed to be broken and then it would fall. Nice. If this was a modern day Call of Duty game, it would be revealed in the sequel that she survived this bullshit somehow.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger.
Nice.
And then it was all over. The storm seemed to lose its frenzy. The ragged clouds gave way to the stars above.
Max Payne, this is Deputy Chief Jim reporter from the NYPD. We've got the building surrounded. Throw down your weapons and lie down with your hands behind your head.
A bit closer to heaven. The cops' voices were distant and muted. My ghosts released me from their haunting. Down below, New York City glittered like diamonds on black velvet.
A great line.
You gave us one hell of a ride. Take him down to Central Booking.
You heard the man.
Woden was there in the crowd, standing by the sidelines. It wouldn't be over till the man with the patch would say so. He'd say the right words. I knew he would. He'd better. Woden grinned smugly. It was the grin of a winner. That made two of us.
And that's it. Minimum pain. So, yeah, I was gonna explain why I never beat this game on the PS2 version. So at the end where you have to shoot the two cable ties, and I said specifically you kind of can't really see the other one or see it well enough to shoot it without the sniper. I did have the sniper, but as I said, textures were so blurry and undefined on the PS2 version that I could not see the cable tie at all whatsoever. So I was just aimlessly shooting at nothing. I retried that section at least 20 times. Every time I was just getting to that point where I had to shoot the cable tie, and I would just blindly shoot repeatedly and just not see like anything break or move at all. I actually don't know if it just couldn't render it properly at the distance that it was. I have no idea, but because of that, I technically never finished the PS2 version of this game. But thankfully I did come back and play it again later on the Xbox version, which is much better. And I could actually see the cable tie and shoot it, which is great. And that is Max Payne, everyone. That was a fun little series. I think that's the quickest I've gotten through a game so far on the channel. Actually, is it? I'm not sure. I think I might have gotten through... Oh no, there's no way I got through, routine quicker. Although it was a 3-part series. Maybe it was around the same. Felt like a lot longer. I like those, I don't know if they're supposed to be cats or dogs, but the emojis still look like they're doing the, like... I don't know how much my mic can pick that up, but it's like the popping sound with your mouth. Dogs, yeah, okay. I thought so. But I wasn't entirely sure because of the ears. Mike picked it up. Nice. I love that meme of the cat, where it just like it goes between 2 frames of its mouth, like fully open and in like a circle and closed. Oh, doggies, apologies. Yes. Which reminds me of another Reddit AMA. Oh, not AMA, or Am I the Asshole? Where it was like, am I the asshole for not liking it when, or for storming out of a shop when my boyfriend was like using too many cutesy like words, like he'd like she couldn't stand him saying stuff like doggo or whatever, but he was in the shop and he saw ice cream and he was like, ice cream. And she stormed out. Oh, that's kind of hilarious. I can't imagine doing that in public. But like, yeah, I mean, maybe like it's just one of those things where like you gotta be clear with your partner what you are and aren't just like comfortable with them doing, and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's it for this stream. Kind of. I will be back for a bonus Crash Bandicoot 2 Platinum Relic stream. I'll just need to quickly close the stream down and then reset it up again. So there'll be a brief break. I will be back as soon as I can. Not liking it wet. For not liking it wet. Yeah. Our brains are all in strange places now. Max Payne is over. But yes, I will be off the air briefly, and I will return on Crash. So I'll see you guys in another few minutes. Oh, you should get like a Twitch notification or whatever I'd say when I come back. But yeah, see you in a second.